through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, guys, welcome to THFC to a die, home at Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under somebody. Yes, we have gone down 2-1 down to Liverpool, but that wasn't the story of the game. The story of the game was with the Tottenham team playing well, a Liverpool team not playing so well, but the game was turning its head by two sendings off. One for Xavi in the first half, Romero sent off in the second half, where we were gaining some momentum, building momentum to take us into get us an equaliser. But I was told after the game, Richarlison was also sent off as well. So that's three players missing for the Crystal Palace game on St Stephen's Day, aka Boxing Day for you guys. Joining me to talk about this and Thomas Frank's reaction to after the game is our Tottenham correspondent, who was at the game today in the dugout next to Thomas Frank, getting the very latest on the touchline. Of course, it is your mate and my mate, Tequila, aka Simon Jordan. How are you, Tequila? How's your flight back to THFC to Adai Towers? Are you getting the flight back all right? Was it a bit windy and bumpy?
Private helicopter, mate. Only the best for me. I ain't going. I don't get on planes, mate. I don't go like I don't go like coach class.
Yeah.
First class only for me, boys.
Yeah, that's it. Look, Tequila, look. I know you were busy doing other stuff.
Unfortunately, I only caught the first 25 minutes of the game. Yeah. I know the result, and I know generally, but I didn't see all of it. So, I've heard people say that we weren't actually that bad, and it was just a sending off. So I don't know, Demo, clear it up. Were we that bad?
We weren't that bad actually. We did play well in the end of the first half. I think the referee has a lot to do with it actually. If I'm being honest, I think the referee was absolutely terrible today. But as I always say, these things sort of they sort of balance themselves out during the season, don't they?
Generally.
I think Xavi's sending off to begin with, I thought it probably was the correct decision, but I think if the referee gave him a yellow card and a stern warning, I think that would have been enough. But VAR decided to get involved and say, right, we're going to send them off. As for Romero, he needs the captaincy stripped off him. He does. He needs.
Comment,
He
sorry.
really does.
I haven't seen the sending off. The person I was with at the time told me that Xavi certainly deserved his,
Yeah.
but he didn't really go into the Romero stuff. So I am Xavi.
What
From what I was told, 100% deserved the red, but I don't know about
Yeah.
Romero.
But for Romero was he got fouled. The referee gave a free kick, and as he was getting back up, he kicked Canute, and he kicked him in the arm. Now Romero's already been booked. So what are you going to do? The referee's got no choice but to give him another booking.
This for me shows me, and I know there's some people who aren't going to like this, but I know I'm really starting to really not care, to be honest. This is why Romero isn't world class for things like this. This is what holds him back from being a really good defender and being a title winning defender. That's why I've got him. That's why in our little squad go the other week, I put him in the top 4 and not a title challenger. It's stuff like this. I think that little bit of that unreliability just stops him. Most of the time, it doesn't rear its ugly head, but we know that it does, and we accept it. But Dermo's right as our captain. It's just like you got to use that thing between your eyes sometimes, Dermo.
Yeah, and also as well, you know as well as I do, bud. You know as well as I do that as a captain, you have to lead by example. And he was a loose cannon. I think the red mist set in very early for him because the referee wasn't giving us the decision. So of course Romero's on utter red mist already. I mean Alex Crook, who's the TalkSport transfer guru, he says Christian Romero represents all that is wrong with THFC. An average defender lauded by the fans because he puts a tackle in. An absolute liability. I feel sorry for Thomas Frank. He's got no chance with this group of players. You know what, Tequila? I have to agree with that 100%. I don't think you would disagree with that either.
I agree. I disagree with a little bit of it. I think calling him an average defender is a little harsh. I don't think he's an average defender. I think he's a good defender. If he wants to, if Crook would have said he's a good defender but not world class, then I would agree. I think average defender, Dermo. I think that's a bit harsh. I think he is better than average.
Yeah, no, I get you. I understand that. I mean, he is a liability, isn't he? To be fair,
well,
he's an absolute liability.
But his liability. That's why he's a good defender and not a world class defender because he's obviously got a high level of talent, but it's this unreliability that stops him from probably being picked off by the tippy-toppy clubs. This is probably why Real Madrid hasn't come in for him. This is probably why Barca hasn't come in for him because he's got this side to him, which unfortunately rears its head. I thought that he'd gotten a bit better at this part of his game. That he was kind of calming down, maybe just because he become the captain or because just age alone plays a factor. But it looks like it's still very much there. And that's why he's a good defender, but not a world class defender, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't know what to make. Do you know what? I feel very sort of different today, Tequila. Look, the players put an effort in, right? They deserve more out of the game. The referee was poor, but I just kept thinking, Tequila. Right? These are the games, right? These are the games that could win or lose a manager his job. These are the times where we've got games coming up thick and fast now. And we're going to lose Xavi for 3 of them. We're losing Romero for the Crystal Palace game. Oh, Dragonson's back, so that's a good thing. Probably Dancer will get the nod for the Palace game. But do you know what I mean? These are the games that can win and lose you a manager. And with all the pressure Thomas Frank is under, with all the defeats we've had under him, low par performances. I think again he was slow today to change it in the second half. James kept saying it the watch along. He should have changed it. He should have changed the formation. And once we did get a bit more attack on the front foot, we got one back through with Charlton. And then we were getting we had all the momentum. And the momentum was cut completely short because of Romero's stupid sending off. Liverpool weren't that great today either, bud. I mean, Liverpool have got a load of problems, but their win puts them up to 5th. We've dropped down to 13th. I think results go against us tomorrow. We can be as low as 16th tomorrow night going into Christmas.
I
So,
mean, I'll have to take a look at the Premier League table after all the weekend's games and then have
Mhm.
another look. But I said, and I'm not going to go back on what I said, but I said that if we find ourselves flirting with relegation, I mean, in my defence, I said in February or March, but still to be 16th at all, especially halfway through the season, which we're pretty much at. I mean, I think just because I didn't want Ange, I did think Frank would be better, even though he wasn't my first choice. And
Yeah.
in particular, I thought defensively would be solid, but it just hasn't happened. I haven't got all the answers for you why that is. I think there's a whole bunch of answers. I don't think it's any one thing.
I think
But
the squad is one of them.
the squad is a massive part. The recruitment's part. The balance of the team is all wrong. And the manager has made mistakes. There's no getting around it. He's not exactly excelling either. But the thing is, Dermo, that two things can be wrong at the same time, right? So it can be that last year was Ange the problem. Yes. Last year was the players the problem. Yes. This year are the players the problem. Yes. This year is Thomas Frank the problem. It looks that way. Need a bit more time. Ange had 2 seasons. Frank's had 5 months, but it's all looking a bit familiar to me.
I mean, we did call it early in the season as Nuno 2.0, didn't we? To be fair.
Yeah, but I expected a lot more. I didn't expect us to score many, and we haven't really scored many. But I just thought we'd be more solid.
I did,
we
and
not?
we haven't been. Look, look, we can drop down as low as 14th tomorrow. If Fulham win, then Fulham will go ahead of Bournemouth and Spurs. We'll be down to 14th. They're the only team in the bottom half of the table that haven't played today. I think Fulham, Leeds are playing, Forest are playing tomorrow. Leeds are playing, I think, tonight. So if Leeds win, they go up to 22 points. But we've got a better goal difference than Leeds at the moment. But look, we're only 1 point off with 2 points, 3 points. We're only 3 points off Manchester United. We're only fourth with for Europa League is 7th, isn't it? So we're only 4 points off Manchester United in 7th place. It again, it's just weird this season, isn't it? A win puts you back into the talking again for a European place. A defeat leaves you scrambling around the bottom. But I don't get it, Tequila.
It's quite hard to analyze because, as you said, there's so many teams that are in a short point distance from each other to really kind of understand where we're at. The only way you can do it is look at the teams you've played, look at the results, look if they've been home and away, try and compare it to last season. If that's what we're going to do, if we're only comparing it to last season, and then find out if we're any better. I think we're slightly better, but it's not by much. I think we're slightly better I think we're a little bit better in the league. It feels that way, but it could be, without going through every single game and then comparing every single result to every single result last year, which I haven't got in front of me. I think we're a little bit better, but it's not a significant amount. It's small bit. Not
It
much.
is. If do you know what? I got really excited when Charles got the goal. And I thought we can get back here. And again, just going back to that Romero, that was the turning point for me. And I keep going back into my head. We've sacked managers for less, Tequila. We really have. But it's just if you're looking at the border, looking at that, and I know January's coming up, and I know your stance of it. Well, get a couple of loan signing in and don't spend the money, keep it to the summer. But if they are going to back Frank, if Frank is going to be here next season, then they do have to really back him this January, don't they? On top of that, Paratici could be leaving the club because Fiorentina have offered him a new 5-year deal to go be their head of director of football in Italy. So it's sort of falling apart a little bit, isn't it?
I'm not sure it was ever together to begin with. For it to fall apart, it's got to be together.
Yeah,
I'm not sure it's ever together. You know what? But I wouldn't be surprised if Paratici goes. I'm not sure I'd blame him. I'm not sure the state of Fiorentina. But I'd like. Are they more secure than Spurs? When I say secure, I don't mean financially secure. I mean secure as in the state of the actual club, because we're an absolute mess from top to bottom. You already know this. So
yeah. Thomas Frank has put out a couple of statements, Tequila. First on the fans. You want to hear this? I hear when your ears pricked up. the crowd, the fans were excellent today. They kept us going throughout the game, especially in the last 20 minutes. They almost sucked a second goal into the net in as well. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. It would have been an excellent comeback. It says on the performance and character, is that I think overall it was a good performance tonight. I was proud of the players and the team, how they responded to it. I think the first 30 minutes was good for us and how we responded to setbacks through the game. Something we've been working very hard on, because this is the biggest thing, the best thing teams need to do. You have to respond to setbacks in games. Because of the best teams deal with that, they keep going, stick to the plan. We have talked together before about structure and everything, and today, and I think we did that excellently. I think that was a great personal and character in the team. Look, I agree that it was a good performance today. I'm not saying Tottenham didn't play well. I think Tottenham played very well tonight. We're unlucky. I think on another night, Xavi doesn't get sent off, and Tottenham score 2 goals and Liverpool lose. But for me, it was that second half period where we made a substitution. We took off Kudos for Brennan Johnson. And I said in the watch along, I would have taken off Bentoncourt and put on another attacker. We're 1-0 down at this point. I mean, Thomas Frank can probably take a lot out of this, can't he, and learn from it. But is it time for the board to really come out and say, like, I know they come out and say we're going to back the manager, but like Jim Ratcliffe did at Man United, Amaron's going here for the next 3 years or the next 2 years. Do you think as fans and as a club, we're going to have to get behind something? So they have to come out and say, right, okay, Thomas Frank is here for the next 2 years. We're going to go through this pain and we'll get it right at the end. Do you think then everyone can get behind it together? And this is just the pain we're going through to begin with.
They're all kind of getting behind a manager. I get it. I get the idea behind it, but you have to choose the right person. Who is the right person? I'm not paid enough to make that call.
No.
I don't think Thomas Frank probably is. I don't think so. But I can't 100% say for sure. But again, I've made this point a couple of times now. Enoch, whoever, let's assume they're going to be in charge and they don't sell up.
Yeah.
Okay, they need to pick a lane. They need to decide if they're going to do it under Levy's ways. And as I said before, if we're going to do it under Levy's ways, then we need a manager like Frank who can get the best out of meager resources. If we're not going to be dealing with meager resources, then I think there's significantly better options out there that we could get at some time. But that doesn't mean specifically that that option is available tomorrow. So it people can say, oh, it's not fair on the manager. Look, the manager is going to get paid 20 million on a payoff, right? I don't feel that sorry for him. I'm sorry. Not in that way, I don't, right? From a job perspective, is this that fair on him? Okay, probably not, because I don't think he should be getting financially backed in January.
Yeah.
And somebody put it in the chat. I'm sorry, there's a lot of comments that he needs to earn it. That
I've been really bad.
It's all right, but that he needs to kind of earn it. I don't know if I'd say he needs to earn it, but I think there's a kind of like, you need to kind of accept this season for what it is. Frank needs to work with what he's got. But also the board need to also be realistic about it as well. And they must be realistic, realizing that Frank hasn't got that much to work with. So it's all about the board setting realistic targets.
I mean, look, Stefan does make a good point here, Tequila. I'm going to get to chat. I do apologize. Normally I'm shit on with the chat, but I'm sorry. I've sort of ignored it tonight, which is not like me at all. So I do apologize, guys. Stefan says, I'm sorry, but Frank isn't good enough. We need better. 1 win and 8. If you're looking at it that way, you can understand why people like myself and other people think, right, enough's enough. It needs to go. But you also got to look at the bigger picture, don't you? And I said it on Dave's today, which I sort of got near enough called a flip-flop, and I wasn't. I was sort of taking your sort of angle from it, being logical, and sort of you have to look at the bigger picture, don't you?
People don't like logic, Dermo. You should know that by now.
I know, yeah. Well, I'm not logical, you are. And look at the bigger picture. And if you do look at the bigger picture, yes, Frank can be blamed for a lot of it. Yes, the players can be blamed for a lot of it. but the owners also have to take their responsibility. And we've already got reports that it's going to be a quiet summer. I've already got a report from our source, who you know as well as I do, Tequila, who's pretty shit hot on all this news. I mean, that's not the news we wanted to hear, was it? It's like the same old again.
That also, Stefan, is that his name?
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I am going to debate that 1 in 8. I'm not going to debate the stat, because the stat is the stat, right? Can't deny the stat. My point is that you need to look a bit further, and you need to look at the teams who've played. And I agree that the Fulham was bad, right? But amongst that 1 in 8, you need to look at some of these teams who've been playing. I mean, really, and how many of them we really expected to beat. I know that Liverpool have not been what we thought they were going to be this year, but they're still significantly a better team than us. You go through that squad, right? It's not close. Right? Newcastle are a better team than us. We did very well to get a draw. Okay, the 1 minute. I don't know if the 1 in 8 even counts. It might count Chelsea and Arsenal. If it counts Chelsea and Arsenal, that's even more in my locker. 2 teams much better than us as well. So even though there's been a lot of bad performances, you do have to look at that 1 in 8, who it's been against. These things need to be taken into account as well, rather than just saying, "Oh, we haven't won in 8 games," but who have we played in those 8 games? You need to analyze it a bit further than that. That's all I'm saying.
You do. We've got people saying we're so predictable. Big up to you. Who else has come in? Big up to Jazz Fusion. Says the roof is on fire. What roof?
Old Trafford. That's okay. Leave it on fire. We did him a favour.
No, seriously, what's on fire? Have I missed something here, or is this a?
I think he's just like everyone's panicking kind of thing. I think that's what he means.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Kind of thing.
Once they ran Frank out, all the excuses cards have been played. Spurs fans are like tenants complaining. Oh, okay, their landlord. Why fall into? I get you now. Okay, big up to you, Jazz. Big up to Knights as well. We played decent, but the squad seriously lacks quality. It was Frank's tactics that saved us tonight. Players' mistake cost us. A lot of fans back these players. What do people want? I just want my club back. Big up to David Clark. Romero cost us both Liverpool goals and then got sent off. Crazy wayward pass for the first goal. He did. He was at fault for the first one. David, you're spot on. Got jumped out for the second. Well, James was saying that second should have been given as a foul. I'd be interested in what people think about that in the chat. And my opinion on it is, your Premier League, you see that week in, week out, they're given or not given. So it balances out during the season. The striker rose early, got above Romero, and then the clown got sent off. Yeah, exactly. Big up to who else is in? Big up to Anthony Leach, Frank out. Big up to Elspur. The referee was a disgrace. He was tonight, Elspur. Absolutely spot on. He was their 12th man. Yeah, he really was. What else we got there? Dermot. Frank has to show us what he can do and what is his first to merit the transfer window kitty. That's true. Big up to Column as well. Wonder if Richie will be on the. I say so. I say if he's got sent off, then that's a 1 match ban. Big up to Paul. Cricket as well. I think it's cricket. Cricket is of course to lose 16 games. On course to lose 16 games this season.
Better than 22.
Yeah. Frank is having an emergency meeting with the board tomorrow. I've been told in the last 20 minutes. That's interesting. Tequila. I
don't see why, but I mean, I'm not saying he's not telling the truth, but I mean, I'm not sure why after tonight you'd have that meeting tonight.
Yeah,
to be honest. But.
So let me ask you then, Spurs side chat. Does that mean that he could? What's the emergency meeting about? What do you think it could be about?
Well, this is why it doesn't make sense to me. If the meeting was because they couldn't accept the fact we lost to Liverpool at home, then the board are idiots. They want to do a meeting. I would have done a meeting after we lost at home to Fulham.
Yeah,
that's what I would have done a meeting of. I would have done a meeting after we drew at Wolves, home to Wolves. Do you see the point I'm making? Like,
I
you
do.
don't
I do get
you
your
don't
point,
panic
yeah.
you don't panic when you lose at home to the league champions.
Mm.
And
Well, Dave,
it was close.
mm.
And
Well,
for all
David,
intents and apparently we played well. So
yeah.
why have that meeting now if overall it wasn't that bad, other than the two idiots getting regarded?
David Clark sort of called it a board meeting tonight. I will come out with it. That's bullshit. I think you're a bit harsh, David. I think everyone's entitled.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that or not. Logically, it doesn't make sense why you'd have it right now after a Liverpool loss. But
yeah. Okay. Don't want that. It's not about getting sacked. It's about the board wants better performances. They are annoyed by 17 points in 24-25. Well, then they should bring in Ange Postecoglou then. Because he played in the 25 season, didn't he, Tequila? Am I right? He was manager. So he's as much.
Well, yeah, he was for the first half of 2025. Yeah, the first 6 months.
Yeah. Look. Right. I've been told. I've just asked our source, by the way, Tequila. Do you know who we use? He said I'm going to ask him if I can use that actually before I say anything. Look, if it's a general meeting about performances and what can we do to help you, then I think that's sensible while he's there, Tequila.
Yeah, but if it's a mid-season kind of review, then that's one thing. But then it shouldn't be classed as an emergency one, should it? Then
yeah,
because when you say emergency, that means because of this result, it's an emergency. I'm not being funny. Any club, or maybe Man City, or maybe if they're title contenders, right? Why are Spurs going to have an emergency meeting because we lose at home to the league champions?
I know. Do you think it could be as well? Look, it could be that some of the board members don't want Frank there, and there's only a few that do. Do you think board members are allowed to call board meetings, Tequila, on any which way they want, rightly or wrongly?
I suppose it's possible if somebody's rung the bell, if that's the way you want to look at it. One of the power players has rung the bell. I'd say that whoever it is an idiot as well, then, because you don't do it after losing to the league champion. Look, if this is how a club is run, that explains.
But Tequila, the point is, you don't just look at tonight. You have to look at the whole picture, don't you? I agree with you.
Then it's not an emergency meeting, then.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I just don't. Yeah, I know, man. There's no credible. I got this from our person that we use. Actually, he said there's no credible confirmation of an emergency meeting at Tottenham Hotspur tonight, and that's what I've been told. So there's a lot of different. I mean, you could get sucked into it, couldn't you, if you followed every bit of news? And look, I agree with you. I think if there's I think the meet should happen tomorrow, next week. You look at January. This is what you need to do. I need this. Give it to me. It's down to Enoch now to show what they can do, isn't it?
Well, if they want to have a meeting with him, it's like a 6-month review. I'd imagine that happens naturally anyway. I'd imagine that these things would happen. I would say so. Every 6 months to have a review of how the season's going. So if that's the case, that's fine. But then it's not an emergency meeting because you phrase it like that.
Yeah.
Then what it sounds like? It sounds like, because we lost against the league champions at home, that's a disaster. Well, I'm sorry, but
I think it's not more tonight, Tequila. I think it's more of the whole season in a row and the whole of.
Well, if it's a review of the last 4 or 5 months, then that's different. But
yeah, I think people just people are going to put stuff out. And look, we don't do it here. You know that, guys. I only put out what's given to me by the people that we use, and I get it checked and double checked. And you do the same, don't you, Tequila? We always get news. We get through. We know it's been checked, double checked, and triple checked before we break it with you guys. Look, I know people put stuff in the chat, and that's down to them.
Liverpool are rubbish. Stop talking nonsense. Oh my god. Okay.
What?
Some people, I tell you, you're allowed your opinion, bruv.
They were crap tonight. They weren't great tonight, Tequila, Liverpool. To be fair.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, okay, but you can't say, they're a rubbish team, right? So, I mean, people have got short memories. If you think Liverpool all of a sudden are a rubbish team, right? What are they? You said they're in 5th now. Oh, they can't be that.
Yeah,
rubbish.
they're sitting in 5th. Yeah.
Oh, well. I mean, they can't be that rubbish.
I was talking to a Liverpool fan today, actually, and he wants Slot out. he wants Slot sacked.
Well,
Okay.
Good for him.
He's very unhappy. He said he won the league with Klopp's team, and he then when he's got a chance to build his own team, he's made a dog's dinner of it, and he wants it.
There's no point talking to them, just let them do it.
Yeah. Look, they are Premier League champions, completely so. But they look very ordinary tonight. The way I put the blame on the two players that got sent off. If we didn't get them sent off, I think we would have got a good. We might have got a draw. We could have won because Liverpool looked quite ropey tonight. They didn't look brilliant, Tequila. And they haven't looked great this season, to be fair. So anyone thinking that we were on top, we played well, we're playing at home, and it's just frustration. I'm frustrated with the players that got sent off. Xavi with the tackle, he the first sending off Tequila, he went for the ball, but he didn't. But he got your man's Achilles. Do you know when it goes down the back of the leg?
Yeah.
The referee gave a yellow card, and then VAR took over. He went to look at the screen, and then Xavi was sent off. And then for the second one, it was just stupidity from Romero. Should Romero be stripped of his captaincy?
What, after one red card? Oh my God! Come on.
No, you're not getting what I'm saying, Tequila. I'm just trying to think stuff out of my head.
Got to stop being so reactionary because of one game, guys. Yes, he got himself sent off, but you can't turn around and say that he's got himself sent off like multiple times this season. As I said earlier, generally he's generally, ever since he got the captaincy, generally he's not been anywhere near as hot-headed. Generally, he hasn't been. Yeah, he's let everyone down tonight. I'm not going to defend him for it, but I'm just saying, all of a sudden to say,
it's stupidity.
It is stupidity, but if he was getting sent off on a weekly basis, then of course, by all means. But he's not. We know he's got this in his locker, but he hasn't generally been like it this season, for example.
No, right. Well, let me rephrase what I was trying to say then. Let me rephrase it then. For the next, say, 2 games, would you take it off him as a sort of punishment for what he did? So, you know,
you can't do that, dude. You can't do that. You can't take the capsy off him and as if you would like a child and then reprimand him. You know, you can't. You might want to, but you can't. And then what? Give it back to him? What? I mean.
And then the column just said he wants his move to Madrid.
I bet he does.
I just think, look, I don't think it was as bad as everyone's making it out to be. I think we played well tonight. I think we were playing the Premier League champions. I think
apparently they're rubbish, according to some people in the chat, don't they?
Well, Liverpool, look, for me, Liverpool this season haven't been great. They haven't been the Liverpool of last season. I think tonight we should have got a draw out of them at least, Tequila. I think if we got a point, I think we really would have been good. Yeah, I think Thomas Frank
I've got to listen to people tell me that the Premiership champions are rubbish because even though they're in 5th place,
I mean,
but they're rubbish. I mean,
yeah,
it's just
I'm
insanity.
looking at 5th, right? I'm looking at 5th. I don't know how Arsenal are getting on. I know they're playing tonight as well. Look, there are 10 points behind Arsenal, right? So they're not going to win the league. But I think they're in the fight for top 4. But, you know, I just feel this one of these Premier League seasons where no team's showing consistency. It's just one of them seasons where everyone's playing bad and one team is sort of, you know, got the luck of the draw, if you know what I mean. I'm just frustrated with the sendings off tonight. That's the only thing I can actually pick from the game. It was the sending off that were frustration. I think the referee was terrible tonight as well. He was dreadful. He really was dreadful. He gave everything to Liverpool. He gave nothing to us. And I think we'll leave it there. There's not much to say in it. We could go on and go around in circles. Look, it's disappointment we're lost at home, but look, and yes, it's disappointment that we've got 2 players sent off. We lose Xavi for 3 games. We lose. I think on Richarlison, he was sent off, Tequila. He will be available as it goes to the total unless the FA overrule it. So we do have Richie. I thought Morani played well tonight as well, by the way, up front. And I think as a team, we played a lot better than we did when we played Forest last week, which is encouraging. If we can keep that momentum going, I think we could be. I think we're in a good place. I think people can be overreactionary, Tequila. I think people can.
You think?
Yeah. I think you have to look at it game by game. I know people are gonna say Frank out or this and that. I think Frank could have been a bit quicker on some of the decisions he made, but I don't think he got an awful lot wrong. I think the players did put in the shift tonight. And I think we're unlucky. And I think it's one of them games, Tequila, where you're unlucky. Do you know what I mean? Where if it's another night, the decisions go for you, not against you. So I think there's a lot to be. I think there's a lot of positives taken out tonight. And I think we need to be a little bit more patient. I think we do. As much as I don't like the word patient, I think we do have to be patient. And I think you're right, Tequila. There is nobody else out there. If you do want to change the manager, I think there's nobody out there to change him to. And I think you're right. I think you got to wait to the end of the season in the summer. Or if you are going to stick by him for next season, then you've got to come out and properly back him properly. Not do it half-heartedly. Just come out and say, we're backing this man for this season and next season. I think he's got a 3-year contract, has he? Or is it a 2-year deal?
I'm not sure, though, mate. I don't think it's going to matter. The chance of him seeing it out is very, very small.
And then I think...
How many Spurs managers get to extend their contract? I think Pochettino was the only person who ever extended his contract. Do you know that?
Yeah, I think it was.
What does that tell you?
Says a lot, doesn't it?
Yep.
It says, do we change the owners? I think nothing changes, to be fair.
You want Robbie Keane? Oh, my God.
Look, I think Robbie Keane in 10 years' time, yeah, but not now.
Yeah, but he's not saying in 10 years' time, dude.
Um,
You know what? People are allowed to think, you know what? Knock yourselves out. Go get Robbie Keane in, right? And I love Robbie Keane as a player. But Robbie Keane, I mean, come on. Yeah, you want to go grooming or something like that for 5 years down the line, maybe. I mean, but what are we doing?
Do you know what? We didn't lose. Everyone's going to chat think we got battered tonight. We didn't get battered. We were unlucky tonight. It's just we were unlucky. Two sends enough cost us.
Well, they're the Premiership champions. They spent 300 million. Every position they have better players than us in.
But Tequila, they spent 300 million, but we gave them a game tonight.
Yeah, but my point is, you're missing the point, dude. I'm reacting. I'm still reeling off being told that Liverpool are rubbish. I just don't know what I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm seeing.
Well, I don't think Liverpool are rubbish. I think tonight we played well against them.
Yeah, but that's them having a bad game. That's fine. Every team can have a bad game.
Yeah,
but they're in 5th place. They're Premiership champions last season. They're in 5th place.
Yeah, but they haven't. To be fair, I think a majority of the Premier League haven't played well.
Yeah, but are you seriously going to tell me, Dermo, that you think Liverpool, anyone, Liverpool are rubbish? That's what I heard. Rubbish. That's what I saw.
Well, that's his opinion. Like, it's nobody.
He's allowed it, but it's just like I mean, he's allowed it. Yes, by all means. But if this is the mentality, then I just despair.
I think tonight. Look, I say it again. I keep saying that. I feel like repeating myself. I keep saying we were unlucky tonight. We played well. If it wasn't for the sending offs, we would have got a result tonight. I think either a draw or we might have snuck out a 1-goal win. I think the sending offs did us. I think the referee was atrocious tonight as well. Every decision went for Liverpool in that first half. We should have had a penalty. We didn't get it. And then when things going that way, it was just the second goal. Should it have been given? Not given? That's up in the gods, and they go for you or go against you. I think tonight's one of these games where it levels itself out by the end of the season. We're going to get a game like that during the rest of the season. I'm sure we will. And I think there was a lot of positives tonight. Now, if we can go into the next few games over Christmas, and get a good result against Palace, and then get a result against Brentford on New Year's Day, Tequila, I think then, and we get 1 or 2 players in January, I think we're going to look quite rosy for the rest of the season, because how tightly packed the Premier League table is. You know, a couple of wins, you're back up the league again. You're back up into 10th or 9th place, where we thought you said we would be anyway. So are we really that far off where we should be?
No, but I'm not the
be
one
fair.
calling. But I'm not the one calling for his head.
The only reason I'm calling for his head is because I'm just fed up of watching boring football.
I wasn't even particularly meaning you, Dermo. I mean, just in general. Look at the chat. I'm not. There's a lot. It's not everyone. I'm not saying everyone in the chat's frank out. It's not true at all. I'm seeing a mixture of stuff, but there's certainly enough of them. There is.
Yeah, I know there is. I mean, our fan base can be very fickle and very very fickle and very overreactory, if you know what I mean. I think tonight has to be looked at as a positive. I'm sorry. I think tonight has to be looked at the positive. You've got to look at the positive side of tonight. And there's a lot of positives to take off tonight. Yeah, you can look at the negative side. Romero, again, letting us down. And that can be so frustrating. When we had the momentum, Tequila, that was the point. We had so much momentum. We had Liverpool pinned back. We were battering them. We got to go back through Richie. We were battering them. We had them pinned back. We were going for it. You know me. I'm on the watch along saying, come on, let's be having you. Come on, do my usual, delusional shite. And that just killed the momentum. That just killed it dead. And that's the frustration of it. It's the frustration of Romero. He has this trigger in his head where, a bit like Roy Keane, I think, as well, Tequila, where he just sees the red mist and all the sensible part of him goes out the window. And he just lashes out. He was frustrated from minute 1 with the referee, and he kept shouting at the referee, shouting at the referee, shouting at the referee, where he should have ignored it. Concentrate on the game. Don't worry what the referee's doing. That's not your job. Your job is to defend and concentrate. And I just felt stupid decisions didn't go our way. If they had got another game, still would have gone our way. So I don't know.
Jazz, I never said you were frank out, my friend. I actually didn't say it was any one person. I said, there's a chat underneath you who is frank out. Like I said, I just said there's a lot of them. I never said it was everyone. It seems probably in the chat, it seems like 50-50. Yeah, it's about 50-50.
I'm sure if we did a poll, it would be 50-50.
Well, probably.
I think you've got to be, and that's why I was pointing out, you've got to be logical about it. You've got to look at the whole picture.
Well, if you're being logical about it, don't tell me Liverpool are rubbish. Don't tell me that us losing at home to Liverpool is any kind of a freak result. This is what I mean.
I just thought we were unlucky tonight.
We were unlucky, dude. I'm not saying we weren't, but but the fact that it's only 2-1, I thought we'd get smashed 4-1.
Yeah.
So I'm not unhappy. I'm not unhappy in the slightest. That I thought we'd get smashed 4-1, and that was with 11 versus 11. I thought we'd be smashed 4-1. The fact that we only lost 2-1 with 2 men getting sent off, I don't think this is that. I know it's a loss is a loss. I know it just adds to all the losses. I get it. The whole sum of its parts and everything. It's been a bad 2 months for us. But again, I just ask you to look at those teams we've played in the last 2 months. There's been bad performances in those 2 months. Of course, we've had bad results against teams we probably shouldn't be losing to, but we've also played some of the best teams in the league as well.
Right, I just got
perspective, man.
Yeah, it is. And look, I'm not. I probably more agree with you than disagree with you, Tequila, if I'm being honest. And look,
Liverpool are bang average at the moment. They're in 5th. Okay. All right.
You look, they did lose 3-0 lead against Leeds. 3-0 lead against Leeds. They did lose at home to Nottingham Forest, but so did we. We lost to Nottingham Forest.
It's not bang average. You're in 5th place. You're not bang average.
No, you're not. But it's so tight. Just every team's not having a great season. It's just one of them seasons.
If 5th place is bang average, what does that make us?
Shite. I get what you're saying. I get it. Look, me personally,
this isn't me attacking you. I'm struggling to believe what I'm reading. Some of the stuff in the chat. You're all allowed your opinions, mate. Don't Don't get me wrong. By all means, I'm allowed my opinion. You're allowed your opinions. These are your opinions. You're certainly allowed them. I'm baffled by them.
I mean, look, for me, you know me, Tequila. I don't like losing, right? And I wear my heart on my sleeve. And if it's a bad game, I'll tell it how it is. If I'm coming on here and saying we were unlucky, and it was a good performance, I'm frustrated with the players getting sent off. And yes, I'm a bit disappointed with the loss, but I'm not as disappointed as I would have been if Liverpool rolled over us, if you know what I mean. We put up a fight tonight. We were good in the back. We were strong in defence. The midfield was great tonight with Archie Gray and Bergville. And Bergville, Archie Gray had a brilliant game tonight. So did Bergville tonight. Bentancur had a good game. I think that Morani up front had a good game. Had one header on. If you got a bit more power, either way, that's in the back of the net. It's all about luck, isn't it? It's all about taking your chances at the right time. And we just didn't have to rob the green tonight. It was just one of those games we didn't have to rob the green. And I think I was so glad to see the end of this 25 season part of the season at home, because maybe 2026 might be better for us, Tequila. It's just been a dreadful run of results for us at home. But I just think, look, it is what it is. I think we should go. We do get something here from Cyprus Spurs, by the way, Tequila. They are wishing us a Merry Christmas. He says, Merry Christmas, guys. Big up to Cyprus Spurs.
You too.
Hope you too. But I've just got a bit of news from people we use. Firstly, it says players reportedly held a crisis meeting earlier this week to discuss the disconnect between the squad, the club, and the fans. But that was not official confirmed by the club and wasn't specified as happening today. And the bottom line, as from now, there is no confirmed emergency meeting happening tonight at Spurs. Rumours or fan theories might be circulating, but nothing from Spurs official channels or reputable news sources confirms it. So that is the latest on that. And here, big up to your column. It says this team then beat Aston. This is a team that beat Real. Is that Real Madrid? I would take it. It probably is. Aston Villa, Brighton, and Inter Milan. Villa are third. Brighton are ninth. Why are people up? I'm look.
I want to drink from your. Yeah, listen, mate. Don't start attacking others. Just saying. Not gonna. I could go and remove it, but don't. There's just no need for that stuff, dude. Just don't. I'm not saying you've said the worst words, but just don't go down that road. I can see you've just done it.
Who scored since you're up?
He's saying. I think he's talking to David, but I don't care who you're talking to. Don't say that to someone else on the chat, bro. Because you know which direction it's going in, mate. You don't need to do it. Just don't do it. You can disagree all you want, but you don't have to start saying up your own arse and stuff like that, mate. Just don't do it. Sorry, it's just like you just don't have to do that.
Yeah, look, we do this for fun. We don't do this for people to attack other people in the chat. If you carry on, you will be banned, and that's the end of. And you're
not blacklisted in here, but the more you do stuff like this, you will be. It's up to you, mate. You do what you
want. We'll leave it there, Tequila. I know you got some stuff coming out of Christmas. Where can people find you, bud?
I don't worry about. I'm not advertising tonight. Oh no, I will for the people, the decent people in the chat. You are. I'll advertise. Got the Play Pouch. We just recorded 3 shows. Coming out over Christmas and New Year. So please look out for them. We just recorded them today. Pretty funny stuff. So yep. Have a good Christmas and New Year, all of you, or most of you.
Oh. I thought I was the Saki one. That's meant. That's meant. That's not meant to you, bud. You do half make me laugh. I need it after tonight, actually. But yeah.
No, I wanna. Nobody's against you, mate. My point is that don't start saying people are up there and arses. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's it. There's no problem. You're allowed to. It's not about you disagreeing with people, mate. It's just you don't have to go down that route. Just be a bit respectful. Nothing more. That's it.
That's all we ask for, isn't it?
That's all we've got to do. It's not difficult. It really isn't.
Right, guys. Well, big up. We've gained a couple of subscribers. I think people like your honesty, Tequila. I think people like you telling it how it is, and I think fans like that, and I think we do need to hear that. Look, I'm slightly disappointed with the sentence off. I'm pleased with the performance. I'm going to end up on this. Pleased with the performance. Pleased with the attitude of the players. The referee was shite. We were playing the Premier League champions, but I think they put up a good fight tonight. And the 2 sentence offs, well, I think it has to be. It's just one of those games, Tequila. It's just one of those games where you have in the season where everything goes against you. But look, on we move. We do have Crystal Palace on the 28th. So I will be back with all your watch-alongs. Player rating show is on Monday. Having the day off tomorrow, guys, if that's okay. I'm going to have tomorrow off. Play rate is Monday. Me and Dave's last podcast of 2025 will be Monday at 1 o'clock as well. Tuesday, I think there might be something on Tuesday. And then Christmas Eve, there will be a special show at 4 before we break up for the Christmas thing. Christmas Day, there will be a pre-record put out. And St. Stephen's Day, there will be a pre-record put out as well. And then I'm back on the 28th for Crystal Palace. There won't be all your normal build-up to the shows. I'll come on, do the watch-along and the build-up for the watch-along as well. Then on January, there'll be match reaction and then play ratings the next day, having another day off, and then we all build up to Leeds, and then we're back into the season again. Tequila, thank you so much for coming on. I know you're busy tonight, so I really appreciate you coming on, bud, and giving us your honest view. And I really respect your views, Tequila. I think people need to
I don't care if they respect my views, but it's just how we treat each other is that's my only concern.
I feel you are sort of the voice of reason at the moment, if I'm being honest. You're telling it how it is.
Not sure that's a popular opinion, but I'll take it, mate. Cheers.
You're keeping me on balance.
Yeah,
you're making me rethink how I'm thinking, how I'm seeing it.
My job is to make you. My job is to ask you questions, Dermo. That's what a co-host. That's what I do.
But you're making me rethink my whole how I'm seeing the season, and maybe the logical is the way to go. But so no show tomorrow. Back on Monday with play ratings. I'm sure you will get all our play ratings for that. But guys, thank you all for watching. Any news that breaks between now and then, we're bringing to you live. Of course, we always do. And then, of course, one of the pre-records going out St. Stephen's Day, which is Boxing Day for you guys in England, will be all about the January window. So that is going to be an interesting one. My thoughts on it. Right. Thank you all for watching, guys. Take care. Peace out.
Eyes on the